Guys, how's it going? Fishing California with EBA. Today we're talking all about fishing, and we want to break down some of the most important things. So 5 things you need to know if you're fishing in California. What do you need to know? What are the things that you need to know? What's most important in the state of California fishing, freshwater, saltwater, you name it? And the first thing would have to be, you know, just that we are an overregulated state, so you definitely want to check your rules and regulations, as we are highly regulated, aka overregulated. Everybody would pretty much agree. So we're at the point where that is a key fundamental aspect of being able to go out, have fun, not get in trouble. Just understand what the rules are, understand what the regulations are, understand what the limits are, understand what you might need tags for to keep a fish, understand all the little things like that, which actually are kind of big things. At the second point, the really thing I want to highlight, the thing I want to really highlight in the state of California is the diversity, the absolute diversity, the sheer contrast of different fisheries that offer different things. So you've got highland reservoirs, you've got mountain reservoirs and lakes, you've got your city ponds, you've got your natural lakes, you've got delta, you've got river systems, you've got creeks, and you've got a lot of different waterways, bodies of water in the state of California. They offer a vast array of different fishing for freshwater and saltwater. And so just being able to understand and do some research on all those areas. We try to cover some of the places in the state because knowing all the options you have and all the different places you can go, what you have available, those are important. So just being well informed on where are the stripers, where's the best place to go in the state for striped bass, where's the best place to go for this and that, and just understanding there is a time of year, there is a season, there are particular baits, there are core colors that produce year in and year out, and these are just some starting points. So just whatever you're going for, I don't care if it's panfish and bluegill, or if it's catfish, and if it's striped bass, or whatever it is, if it's trout, or if it's anything that it is, what we have to understand is let's be thankful that in the great state of California we do have a vast array, a wide selection of fisheries, freshwater and saltwater, and we have a lot of different good fishing. We have good fishing in the state still. We have a lot of different ways to catch these fish, a lot of good places to catch these fish, and then we have a lot of ways that we used to catch fish in the state, places that used to be good to fish. So we have a lot of what was, and then we have what is, and it's really hard to determine where everything's at. But yeah, just looking at some of the obvious things, absolutely hard to beat Clear Lake, California for bass. If you're going for largemouth, it's one of the best destinations in the world. I mean, if you're going for river systems, we have some of the best river systems on the world. Steelhead salmon runs are looking better. I'm not expecting them to open some of those fishing up to the public anytime soon, but we have a lot of good things to focus on. We have some great fisheries like Shasta Lake, Berryessa, got some others like Oroville, Bullard's Bar, got some other great lakes like Indian Creek Reservoir, Caples. So we've got a lot of different lakes in the state, bodies of water. But I really want to also talk about the third thing here, things you need to know about fishing in California. You're gonna have to know the right time of year. You're gonna have to understand that certain seasons are going to be highly competitive. There's going to be lots of pressure and competition. We call it traffic. There's going to be a lot of traffic. I mean, you're going to have people, certain spots, certain lakes, times of year. Like I said, you're going to just be, almost doing shore wars. You're going to be, combat fishing, you next to another guy, next to another guy, next to another guy. And so sometimes just being aware of the situation you're about to go into, whether it's going to be shore wars and combat, or whether it's going to be rock hopping on a creek, or whether it's going to be trying to find access points on the river, or whatever it is, make sure you've got some homework done as far as your groundwork and things to get you at the right spot at the right time and make a good day of things. When sometimes I've gone out and I haven't had it all prepared, that's the creek I want to go fish, that's great. Finding an access point takes me all day and I don't find the one I want, and I end up going home, and it's a waste of gas, time, energy, and well, a day off. So yeah, we want to talk about making a plan, having an understanding of, what you're going to expect, what you're going to encounter, what you might need, some of the things you might need. I also want to say things you need to know in California. Um, Obviously, um, safety is a huge concern. We are a heavily populated state, and there has been a lot of safety incidents or incidents in general that really, really make me worry. And obviously, they're going to continue to overregulate certain areas because of the safety issues that and concerns that they have at certain places, lakes, bodies of water in the state. So just being safe. 5 things you need to know about fishing in California is you need to be safe. There's a lot of people getting hurt out there. There's a lot of people that don't come back. There's a lot of people running into a lot of other people, and just being kind of safe, making sure that when you go out on a rural trail or you're out in the sticks, that you actually let somebody know what your plan is. So if you don't come back at the appropriated time or you never get heard from again, somebody at least knows where you went. But also on a more simple level, avoiding obvious things that might cause conflicts, just being anti-conflict at, we live in a state that there's a lot of people and there's not as many places to recreate for the population when you consider it. So sometimes space, you might go to an area and it's a public area, like private, public, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's catch 22 in the state, but, yeah, you're going to have to just share space, and sometimes you're going to have to put up with some things that you don't want to put up with. But, ultimately, be safe, have fun, make sure your kids are being safe, make sure you're aware of whatever it is that you need to be aware of. That might be the poison oak, the mountain lions, the bears, the snakes, whatever it is, the ticks, whatever it is that you need to be aware of. Do some research, be aware of it. And, we're doing this because these are the fundamentals, guys. These are the ABCs of going fishing and having a good time and just being responsible. So, the last thing I want to say, 5 things you need to know. We're on the 5th about fishing in California. Is going to be fishing in California. Of course, you're going to have to understand that, like I said, California is a diverse, it's a very interesting place where we have a little bit of everything. And so up the mountain, in the mountain lakes, you might have a bite on and or not, and vice versa. You might, be able to drive down to a foothill lake and it's on, or not. And then, you might be able to go down to more of the flatlands and really play around there. And what I'm trying to say is we've got different weather, we've got different elevation, and we've got a great mix. So what it allows is it allows for the pre-spawn fishing, for example, in February to open up faster in the lower elevation flatland type lakes, bodies of water. And that usually will happen around February. It'll get really good, sometimes even the end of January. Whereas as you go up to the foothills, it's going to take, maybe the middle of March, maybe the end of March, maybe even the first week of April. And as you get up into the mountain fisheries, you might be talking May, late April, early May. And there's even places in the higher elevation lakes that you can't even fish until mid-June. Depending on the pack, certain years, the end of June or early July. So it really depends, and what that allows, in my opinion, is a vast array of fishing. So when we're looking for water temps and you're like, this is when this starts, you're able to kind of hit these lowland fisheries, get those early water temps, and then, maybe you're all the way, flip side, you're at the end of summer, you're able to go high. And then, it's going to go right back to where actually it kind of flips again in the winter, and the lowland lakes start really fishing good. So it's really interesting, the complex nature of California. We're lucky to have everything we have. It's probably because our state's bigger than maybe it should be. It's bigger than most states, and that allows for us to have such a robust, such a wide array of fisheries, habitat, elevation, clear water systems with rocks and no structure, and then other places that have shallow water and structure everywhere. You've got weeds and grass lines and this and that and docks and old wood, pylons, whatever. I mean, you've literally got everything under the sun in California. We hope you guys get out and catch some fish, have some fun. Appreciate you watching our video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.